What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Flying with Garrett. So I'm back on my 2 videos a week. Like I said before in previous videos, it's going to be a mix between Flying with Garrett episodes and vlogs. Like this weekend, I'm going away for my birthday. Yes, I turned 27 on Saturday. So if you want to start the video off right, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button for me. It'd mean a lot. And also, if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. But yeah, it's gonna be a mix between these episodes and just, travel vlogs, because I don't want it to be this channel just about this, because that's not entirely who I am. I love to travel. I love to, fitness. So it's gonna be a little bit of everything, but I do see the feedback on these episodes and you guys really do enjoy them, especially people who are interested in getting in aviation. So go ahead and start the video off with 5 reasons to be a pilot. Not last week's, but just a couple days ago, the video was 5 reasons to not become a pilot. There are so many more reasons to become a pilot, but I had to narrow it down to 5. So we'll start it off. 1 is free time. Right now, I'm on call. I went on call at 7 o'clock this morning. I get off call at 5 p.m. I've been on call the last 3 days. Didn't get used. During those days that I'm home on call, I'm able to go to the gym. I'm able to cook food at home. I'm able to do social media content. I'm able to study for work. I'm able to do these videos. So those count as days off, in my opinion, or at least days at home. So those really add up. But as a line holder, you can expect around 15 days off a month. And that just depends what you do. That's from an airline pilot's perspective. I know this video is like being a pilot as a whole, which I'll talk to later on in the video, but from an airline perspective, around 15 days off, give or take a couple. Now, as you get senior, you get more and more days off and reserve days at home. This is kind of short call reserve. I have to be within 90 minutes of my house to the gate, and I live 12, 15 minutes away from the airport, so it's great. Also, other airlines have long call reserve. So let's say I was based up in New York, I could be at home, and it's tend to be about a 14-hour call out. So as long as you have tons of flights to get you there within that 14 hours, you can stay at home during long call reserve. And also, all this has to do with seniority. The more senior you get, you tend to get more and more days off. So reason number 2 to be a pilot is flight benefits. I've mentioned this in tons and tons of videos. You see me riding first class, international. You see me just going to places all the time, like I am this weekend with just 3 days off. It's because I have these flight benefits. There's no way I would be buying tickets left and right like this if I was paying full price for them. So flight benefits is a huge, huge perk. For me, I'm like kind of a seat guru. I know which airplanes fly which route, and like for instance, I'm going to LA this weekend. I know that American, they have a 321T from JFK to LAX and JFK to San Francisco. And that configuration of the airplane is first class, business class, and economy. Not a lot of domestic flights have a real first class. They just kind of have a business class. So that first class, I tend to be able to get a seat to it. So anytime I go transcon from coast to coast, I try and go up through JFK to jump on one of those, because I love that experience, and it's awesome. And that is free. Depending on your carrier, you might have reduction tickets, at a cheaper price. But thankfully for me and a lot of carriers here in the United States, they do give free flight benefits, which is lovely. Also, whenever I did a lap around the world, there's something called Z fare or Z tickets, where you can, as an employee with one airline, a lot of airlines have an agreement where employees can purchase tickets at a very low price to fly on other airlines. I got to fly on Philippine Air, I got to fly on Cathay, I got to fly on, was it Etihad, I believe, was the other carrier. So I got to fly on all those carriers at a significantly reduced price. So it brings us to the 3rd benefit, perk, lovely thing about being a pilot, and that is just the thrill of flying an airplane. When I say, to me, it's the best job in the world, it really is the best job in the world. What's better than being able to take some thrust levers up of these massive just hungered. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but just being able to fly a jet airplane is probably the coolest experience there is. And you know, the job changes every day. Weather changes, Mother Nature. It's just always changing. So it adds, it's not just like take off, land. Some days it can be repetitive when you're doing, we call it shuttle, where you're kind of like back and forth between the same airport all day. But you have thunderstorms, you have snow, stuff changes, you know, airplanes break, just the job is ever like changing, and you always got to be using your brain. And another thing is like going into new airports is such a cool thing. You know, it's like flying into the unknown. You have no idea what you're you know what you're getting into, because you have approach plates and you study the airport and weather, and before you obviously take off and depart to this airport. But still, you know, it's cool flying into new airports, getting to experience the different approaches, different taxiways, just the environment, the airport environment alone. So the thrill of flying, taking off and landing is so much fun. To me, I don't think it'll ever get old. I've mentioned my father before, who's been in the airline industry for over 35 years, and he still loves going to work, that says a lot. It says a lot. You can ask a lot of pilots who are even close to retirement, and they will still say the same thing. They love going to work. Okay, so that brings to the fourth one, and that's pay. Everyone loves to talk about money. All this information is all out there to the public. A great website is airlinepilotcentral.com. You can look up pay scales. You can look up so many things for different airlines. They're not always spot on right, because contracts are ever changing, especially going into this pilot shortage. Every airline is coming out with a new contract and they got to up the other one. So pay is forever increasing, at least right now in this pilot shortage, and it will be for the next, maybe 3 to 6+ years. Who knows? This pilot shortage is expected to play out for, you know, at least probably 5 years. Just looking at those retirement numbers on Airline Pilot Central. So the pay is phenomenal. You know, you can start out, you see all these bonuses. It tends to not, in all honesty, not be that great when you first start out. Maybe your first year is good because, you know, they're offering these $20,000 signing bonuses and stuff, which is real. There's no catch to that, but your kind of hourly rate is definitely offset from that. You know, you could start off at, I'm not sure what the starting rate is, maybe $52 an hour, and then it goes up. And, you know, some of those senior people who are flying the wide body captains that are going across the pond and stuff, you know, they're making almost $400 an hour, which is crazy. So all throughout your career, you're going to steadily every year make more and more money. Aircraft configuration, like the different groups of airplanes, meaning the size, those all have their own pay categories. Also, most airlines in the United States, they do 401k matching, which is essentially giving you free money. You know, you put money into your retirement and they will match a certain percentage of that. It's free money. So, and also profit sharing. Now, this is public information. Delta, for instance, great airline, they give 17% to their employees, which is a lot of money, especially in an economy like this where they're making a lot of profit. You know, all these airlines are making a lot of profit, but I want to say Delta probably leads in the profit sharing category. Each airline has their great perks, but Delta, at least their profit sharing, they tend to be the leader in that. So 17%, that's basically 2 free months of salary that these employees are getting. So it's 17% of your pay that they get in one big bonus check. Of course, it's taxed heavily, but like I said before, those wide body captains over at Delta who are making, you know, $380,000 to almost $500,000 a year. I'm sure some of them are making $500,000+ a year that, you know, are check airmen or in the training department or pick up open time. You know, they're getting $60,000 to $80,000+ profit sharing checks, which is crazy. Can you imagine just getting like, oh, the economy did good this year, the airline did good this year, here's $80,000, you know? That's crazy. So the pay, everyone loves to talk about pay. Is it worth it? do your research. That website, Airline Pilot Central, no, they're not sponsoring this video. It's just great public information if you do want to get into the airlines. And that brings me to the fifth and final point of a reason to become a pilot. Experiences. You know, you're flying into new cities. If you do long haul, you're going to new countries, and also different kinds of pilots. People don't really think about this when they say like, oh, I want to be a pilot. It could be an airline pilot. It could be a charter or corporate pilot. It could be a cargo pilot. You could be a skydiving pilot, you know, a jump pilot who flies the skydive planes.
One moment.
Okay, thanks, Siri. So there's so many different types of pilots you could be. Okay, all right, Siri, thank you. Thank you, goodbye.
Okay, nice talking with you.
Oh, I'm glad she got to get into this video. So anyways, there's tons of different types of pilots. There are bush flying pilots out in Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, and that looks like some of the most fun flying in the world. Can you imagine landing on a little grass strip in the middle of nowhere on the side of a mountain? That's crazy. There's only a limited amount of pilots in the world that are actually trained and can do that type of flying. So many different ways of being a pilot, and there's so many different reasons of why, in my opinion, this is one of the greatest professions there is. If you guys enjoyed this video, like I said before, smash that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed, because I know there's some new subscribers that are watching this video that haven't hit that. And go ahead and turn on the bell. You know that little bell right next to the subscribe button? It'll let you know every time I post a video. Check me out on Instagram. I'm there every single day throwing stories up if you want more behind the scenes of my life. It's actually just Fly with Garrett. But this episode is Flying with Garrett. Don't even know my Instagram handle. But I will see you guys soon. See ya.